There's 70 picks during day two. I'm going to be giving you guys my favorite 15 of them based on either fit or value on my big board or a little bit of mix of both. Starting, we're going to be doing some honorable mentions slash victory laps for guys that got picked right where I had them valued on my big board, or right where they near where I had them valued, but were picked at the spot where I thought they would based on their positional ranking, or just very very near that threshold. We're going to be starting off with Noel Williams, cornerback out of California. I had him ranked 85 on my top big board, or my true big board. He got picked at 85 by the Chiefs. Absolutely just ringing the bell there. Felt good about that one. He was my 10th ranked quarter, got picked as the 12th, so a little bit of value there. Next, we got the Saints picking Vernon Broughton, a IDL out of Texas. I had him 69 on my big board. He got taken at 71. Was my 11th ranked IDL, and he was the 11th IDL taken. So another ring in the bell moment right there. Omar Norman Lott for the Chiefs. He got taken at 63. I had him ranked 62 on my big board. He was the 9th IDL taken. I had him ranked at 8. Kyle Williams, wide receiver, Washington State. The Lions took him at 60. I had him ranked 69, so pretty close, but he was the 9th ranked wide receiver. He was the 9th taken wide receiver. He was my 9th ranked wide receiver. Elijah Arroyo, the Seahawks took him at 50. I had him at 61. So a little bit early for my value, but he was my 3rd ranked tight end. He was the 4th one taken. Not only that, but in the second round predictive mock, I had the Seahawks taking him at 52. He got taken at 50. They traded out of 52, but still, I had him mocked to the Seahawks. So ringing the bell there for that one, especially for the value, being the 4th taken tight end and my 3rd ranked one. TJ Sanders, I had him ranked 47. He got taken 41 by the Bills. He was my 7th ranked IDL, got taken 6th. So that one's a little bit farther away, but still pretty close. And then Ben Morrison, I had him 58 on my board because of the injury concerns. He got taken at 53. He was my 8th ranked quarter, taken at 9. So some good value there too. I had some other ones that were a little bit close, but I felt like those ones were the most notable. Day 2 is my favorite day, and it's a very, very hard one to predict, so felt very good about those ones. But let's dive into it. We're not going to be going ranked basically 15 to 1 based on my favorites. We're just going to be going in order of when these guys were picked. This isn't a 15 to 1, just a top 15 in general. I love all these picks. Going to be talking about a degree if I really, really love one, if there was a ton of value, but let's dive into it. The Cowboys took Donovan Ezraku, an edge out of Boston College, at 44. He was my 4th ranked edge rusher. He was the 6th one taken. He was 27 ranked on my big board, so just great value for them there. I think that was an absolute great pick, especially considering that they need pass rush help. They lost to Marcus Lawrence. It's not a super big body guy, but in terms of needing pass rush help now, I think that's a great fit for them as well. The Cardinals take Will Johnson at 47. He was the 4th corner off the board. He was my 3rd ranked corner, ranked 20 on my big board. I understand it. There are injury concerns with him, and the fact that he didn't test with some athletic concerns is scary. But in terms of true talent, this is so worth it for them. They need a true starting outside corner. The injury concerns make him fall to day 2. In terms of true talent, it's so worth it. In terms of fit, it's great for their defense too. He plays a brand of football that works well for that style of defense that they run, that kind of quarters, more matching style. 3-4 kind of attacking. They do a lot of disguise blitzing stuff. He works really, really, really well in their system. The Commanders with Trey Amos, they take him at 61. The 6th ranked corner off the board. I had him as my 5th corner, ranked 30 on my big board. This was a guy I thought had the talent to slide into late day 1. Wasn't necessarily sure if he would do it, but in a corner class that's more top heavy and super thin towards day 3, I thought a lot of these corners were going to be going a lot earlier, and he slides. And getting a true starting outside corner at 61 is just insane value to me. 31 spots, later than where I had him on my board. I think that is great, great value for them. The Giants take Darius Alexander at 65. I had him 42 on my big board. He was my 6th interior. He was the 10th one taken off the board. So just insane value, in my opinion, in terms of how many guys were taken ahead of him. He went to Toledo. He's 25. I understand that. That's definitely going to be a determining factor in making him slide. But when you think about true value and just how good the player is, this guy is 100% worth it. He's got some things to clean up, but some of his flashes are some of the best in this interior class, and he has the potential to be a 3-down player. Getting him at the top end of the 3rd round is a steal, in my opinion. The Raiders, Darian Porter at 68. I had him ranked 52 on my board. He was the 7th corner off the board and my 7th ranked corner. So absolutely feel great about where he was taken, and when he was taken in terms positionally. Felt super great having him be the 7th one taken. It's also great for the Raiders. I think he would be a great fit for what they want to do in terms of, they like to mix it up a lot, but they run a decent amount of man. He could do a lot of that man stuff. He has some decent eyes. They're a little bit inconsistent at times, but he has great ball skills, and when he flashes the eyes, it's some beautiful stuff. So if you get him to learn more of that zone stuff, he's just absolutely perfect for them. A very, very, very high upside pick. So not only is the fit great for them, but I think the value is great for them. That is one I especially love a lot in a corner class where there's not a lot of outside true starting corners that you're going to get outside of round 2 or round 3. They somehow wait until round 3 to get one, and get one that I think fits perfectly for them. Is probably going to be starting sooner rather than later. The Bills, Landon Jackson, one of the best overall values in my opinion. I had him at 51. He got taken 72 to the Bills. Man, this guy, you understand why he can fall because he is a little bit more raw, but a very nice run defending floor in my opinion. This guy's got all the length, all the testing numbers in the world. Some of the flashes are some of the highest in this class, not in terms of consistency of how much he flashes, but someone that big, that long, showing that much power, and then also showing some very, minuscule flashes, but flashes of winning around the edge with hand moves and with his hips. If this guy could reach his full potential, it's some of the highest potential in this entire class. Absolutely love that pick for them, especially in the 3rd round. If he doesn't hit, he's another big-bodied edge that you could use on rundowns. And if he does hit, that's another edge that you're going to have for years in that room. Absolutely love that for them. He was the 12th edge taken, my 7th ranked edge, so great value. Also a great fit in that defense. They love their big-bodied long edges. You think of AJ Epineza, of Greg Rousseau. Joey Bosa isn't like the thickest guy, but another long, kind of big edge. Really, really like that for them. The Cowboys up again. I'm really liking the way they're putting up their draft. Tyler Booker, in terms of true value, wasn't kind of near 12 for me, but in terms of how they want to start dialing their offense, I totally understand the pick for them. And he's going to be great. They're so good with offensive linemen. I'm not worried about it at all. And then you get Donovan Ezaraku, and now Savon Ravel in the 3rd. Someone that I had ranked as my 7th corner. This guy is an absolute dog. I had him ranked right there, or my 6th ranked corner. I'm sorry, I had a typo in my notes. My 6th ranked corner, right there with Trey Amos on the same grade, just a little bit scarier in terms of day one due to the injury that took him out of this season and the fact that he played at ECU. That's probably why he fell to the 3rd. A lot of injury concerns with a lot of these corners. That's why you're seeing a lot of guys start kind of falling to the late 2nd and 3rd round. But in terms of the upside, this guy has all the length, all the size, would have been an absolute insane combine tester, not for the injury. Probably would have been the most athletic corner at the combine. Flashes excellent ball skills, has some decent press technique. Like, the upside is truly, truly all there. This is a potential of an elite corner if he can hit his upside. Getting him in day 3 or day 2, round 3 is absolutely insane. Did not think he would fall this far, even with the injury. Love that for the Cowboys. The Panthers get Princely Unmonmielen at 77. I had him ranked 57. on my big board. Sorry, doing this at 5 a.m. Um, uh, Panthers took Prince Elite Monmiel in 77, had him ranked 57 on my big board. I think that is great for them. They need some edge juice, some pure pass rush juice, and no one is juicier. I shouldn't say no one. At this spot, there's no one juicier than Prince Elite Monmiel, and this guy has some absolutely insane get off and some dip and bend around the edge. Not a true 3-down player yet, but he has the strength and the ability to be. You just got to get him to buy in and learn how to defend the run well. This guy, at getting around the edge and threatening with speed, is just a true threat around the edge. At 77, that is more than worth it. Was my 11th ranked edge, was the 13th one taken off the board, so that is some pretty great value in my opinion. The Texans get Jalen Knoll. In terms of the fit, it's a little bit interesting. They brought in Christian Kirk, even though, it was a very late day 3 pick. That's still another body in the room. They have some other slot types like John Mechie already there. They have Nico, they have Tank Dell, who again is another slot type. They draft Jaden Higgins, who I absolutely love, was my 6th ranked wide receiver. He was the 5th one off the board. And I thought he was ranked in my 20s, so absolutely love the value for them. I thought that was a great pick. But then you go and take his teammate, which is really cool, but again, another wide receiver. That's a ton of bodies in that room. They need to figure out what they're going to do with the bodies. In terms of fit on the team, he's going to be playing in that Z. They're probably going to be playing Tank in the Z when they have 2 guys out on the field, but in the slot. He's going to be rotating probably slot to Z, because you would expect Higgins, being taken a lot earlier, to have an outside presence because he is an outside type wide receiver. Now he can play the slot as well. They have a lot of guys that could fit there, but he is more of a true outside guy. And then you got Nico, who is of course an outside guy. So they have a lot of snaps, a lot of snaps to get around, a lot of mouths to feed. But that is a great problem to have. A lot of young, really good talent. They can really do whatever they want with the bodies they have there. A lot of flexibility for them. He was my 43rd player on my board. So in terms of true value, like insane value, one of the highest values pick of this list we're talking about. And he was my 8th wide receiver on my top 10 rankings. He was the 12th one taken. So again, great value positionally. I absolutely love that. The Titans get Kevin Winston Jr. at 82. He was the 38th player on my board. Myself and a lot of other people included thought this guy could have been a late 1st rounder potentially to early 2nd rounder, if not for the injury. He only played 2 games this year. Very unfortunate, but a very tradesy, very athletic player that's full size and flashes some nice coverage technique. So the fact that he's all the way in round 3 when this guy has plus athleticism, plus size, very nice flashes, especially for someone who's only played 2 games this year, like getting him all the way at 82 is just insane value to me. He was my 3rd ranked safety. He was taken as the 4th safety off the board. So positionally, I think it's good value as well. I think the Titans got an absolute steal in my opinion. Going to be talking about Caleb Johnson next. This is another ring the bell moment for me, as I had this predicted. I think it was in the what I would do mock for them, I think it was in the what I would do mock for them in the 3rd round. As this pick, though, I'm pretty sure it was either in the predictive 2nd or the what I would do 3rd. I'm pretty sure it was the what I would do 3rd. But I love this for them. Not only is it good value, being the 73rd player on my board, he was taken at 83. So he was kind of viewed more in where I thought he was, which was kind of validating. He was the 6th one taken off the board, the 8th running back. So positionally, there was a couple guys that I kind of value. They're in very similar spots. So I don't hate it positionally in terms of who else is there. And he's a great scheme fit for what they're doing with Arthur Smith there. He is a perfect scheme fit. They just got rid of Najee too. They like having the Lightner and Thunder back combo there with Jalen Warren. Replace Najee with Caleb. Like, you're not losing anything there. That is perfect in my opinion. I absolutely love that for them. Not only as the value is, I think, is perfect value at the spot. Like, I don't think it's insane value, like in terms of getting a guy you shouldn't have been able to get. I think it's great value. That value is right where you should have been able to get him, but it's also a great scheme fit. The Bucks get Jacob Parrish. Last one we're going to be talking about at 84. Actually, this isn't the last one we're going to be talking about. I'm incredibly sorry. A couple more. The Bucks at 84 get Jacob Parrish, cornerback. He was my 66th ranked player. My 9th cornerback, he was taken as the 11th cornerback. Makes sense because he is a slot type. I talked about that when talking about him. He's probably going to fall to the 3rd round because he is a slot type. But man, this is an absolute steal for them and a great fit. The Bucks get Ben Morrison in the 2nd, complete their outside kind of guys, and then they get Jacob Parrish to play their slot. They like to rotate Antoine and Tyke Smith around. This allows them to be a lot more flexible, allowing them to get more into high shells, also allowing them to get those guys down to the slot when they want to, not forcing themselves to have to keep Parrish there because they like to keep rotating those guys around. And then if when your outside guys goes down, Jacob Parrish has outside flexibility as someone who's played there at Kansas State, but does profile more as a slot. I absolutely love that. Great value for them. I think it's a great fit for them now that they have their outside kind of shored up with Ben Morrison. This is just another safety pick that gives them more flexibility on the back end. I think this is absolutely great for them. Next, we're going to be talking about the Jags getting Wyatt Milam, a guard out of West Virginia. They took him at 89. I had him ranked as my 78th ranked player. He was my 12th overall lineman, and he was the 14th one taken off the board. So I thought this was a great fit for him, or not only a great fit, but a great value for him positionally and in terms of big board. I really liked Wyatt Milam. I think he is a little bit more scheme dependent than some of the day 2, round 3 to round 4 interior linemen that you're going to get. So I thought he was going to get taken higher because of that. He slides a little bit. I think this is absolute great value for him. The Patriots, I love them double dipping to get offensive linemen. Absolutely love that for them. They get Jared Wilson at 95. He was my 86th ranked player, so nice in terms of my big board. He was my 13th ranked offensive lineman. They took him at 16, so like that positionally as well. If you think of Gray's Abel more as a guard, then Jared Wilson is probably your top ranked center in this class, and he would be for me if you do think of Gray's Abel as a guard. So getting the top ranked center, someone that one of the only centers that's probably going to give you day 1 playability, even if it's not going to be elite play day 1, someone who gives you the floor or the ability to play day 1 if you have a hole at that position. Absolutely great to get that at 95. I think that's perfect value for a team that needed to double dip that line, in my opinion. I think that's great for the Patriots. And then the Falcons at 96, getting Xavier Watts. I don't know how this happened. I didn't see if there was any medicals or anything that happened to him. He was my 37th ranked player, my 2nd safety. A lot of the safeties falling in this class. I love seeing Andrew Makuba as a quick shout out to the Eagles. I really liked him. I thought he was a 2nd round type player, so seeing him go in the back end of the 2nd was really validating. But Xavier Watts, I know he isn't the most athletic guy, but someone who is so smart, so instinctual at safety, so physical, can really rotate around what you want to do with him. I think at the safety position you can get around not being a super athletic player. It was very surprising to see him fall all the way down here, but the Falcons, who love their safeties, and they still have Jesse Bates, they can play him more at strong safety, where I think he would be a great fit. Love this for them, man. I absolutely love this for them. One of the best values in my opinion. I hope you guys appreciate it. These were my 15 favorite value picks, kind of value/fit, along with some kind of bell rings of some guys that were taken basically right where I thought they should have been taken in terms of where I had them on my big board / where I had them ranked positionally. Thank you guys. Going to be super excited for day 3. Look out for my favorite day 3 prospects remaining as we get to the end of this beautiful draft. We get excited for all of our teams making their picks, try to get super hopeful that all of them are going to be impacts. Love to see the hope this time of year. So thank you guys. Have a good one.